Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sandy and this is Sandy's Journey, and I want you to come along with me as I work my way through Kenya and many other things in my life. So let's get to it.
Yeah, so Sandy, how is the experiences between these two countries, America and Kenya?
Well, it's a big difference, of course. Kenya is, let's say, the cost of living is not as high as it is in the US. Everything in the US is elevated, and here you can buy things very inexpensively at a good quality.
And how about the diet, the food and everything?
Everyone here eats fresh food. They don't eat processed food. None of the, well, there are some fast food places like KFC, Burger King, Pizza Hut, things like that here. But that's usually mostly for the younger generation. The generation that I'm in as a Kenyan would be, at my age, they eat fresh foods. And I think everybody, eats a lot of fresh food. You go out and you buy what you need for a day's meal, just one day, like tomatoes and onions and, various meats and rice and things like that. Because a lot of places, they don't have refrigeration. So here, where I'm staying, we don't have a refrigerator, so we can only buy enough food for one day, bread, things like that.
In preponderance with people, how is social life when you get to meet the Kenyan people and the Americans?
Well, Kenyan people are very, very social, and they're so kind. They are really kind, and they want to scoop you up and talk to you for a long time about this, that, all the different things. In America, people are friendly, but they don't just to strangers. They don't warm up to you that well.
Okay. In accordance to issues, how do you find the places here? Like for example, if you're going to different areas here and there, how do you find it according to here in the States?
Well, here, like for example, where I'm staying right now is called Karen, and there are more upscale places to go. A lot of Caucasian people here, as opposed to some of the other areas in Kenya where there are no Caucasian people. Here they call white people like myself, they call us Mazungas. And a lot of people don't like that. They don't like to be called Mazungas. But I don't really like it that much, but that's how they identify a white person as opposed to any other person around. So yeah, people are friendly and nice, and the areas, depending on what area you go to, are really nice. But there's a huge slum here. It's called Kibera slums, one of the biggest slums in East Africa. And I have friends that live in Kibera. So in the future, I'd like to go to Kibera, and I'd like to shoot some content, and so you can see how other people live.
And how is the climate here as compared to the States?
Oh, wow. Right now it's hot. It's very, very, very hot here. Sometimes it's not pleasurable. It gets so hot sometimes in the afternoons that it's terrible. But in the evening, as the sun starts to go down, it gets cool. It gets cold through the night. You have to have, a blanket or a duvet or whatever on you, or you won't be able to sleep. You'll be so cold. So I think when people think of Africa, they think of desolate places, desert, things like that. But Kenya is a green country. There's so many trees and all sorts of vegetation, flowers and plants, and they grow tea here, tea leaves, So they grow tea and all kinds of other agricultural, what do I want to say? Like they grow corn and a variety. I'll have to come back to that because I can't think right now all the different things. But
maybe I can add something there. What happens in Kenya? Agriculture is the highest income generator when it comes to revenues in this country. So we have two types of crops. We have cash crops and food crops. So we grow both of them. So the cash crops, for example, like tea, we export it to the Western countries, like England. They buy a lot of that from us. But the tea is grown in those sides of Rift Valley. We also have in Central Province. So when you also compare the climate there as compared to Nairobi, it is always raining. And just to add a little bit on climate, right now it is hot because between the months of January and February is usually the hottest months. But it's not that hot as compared to other countries. Like for example, if you compare it with India. So here in Nairobi, it's usually between, it can go up to 30. That is how hot it becomes.
30 degrees Celsius, right?
Yeah. But no, it's not that hot as compared if you, let's say, travel to a different grid of provinces. Like for example, those sides of Mombasa, the coast province, or those sides of, the coast province is very hot.
Yes.
And then there are also those sides, northern part of Kenya, it's also extremely hot. Those sides of Wajir, the climate there is very hot. So just to add again on agriculture, like I said, we have two types of two types of crops, which is cash crops and food crops. So food crops is like what we consume, let's say like groceries. That's what food crops is all about. Cash crops, they're just basically grown for a medium of exchange. Yeah.
So how do you, I'm going to ask you a question here.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody comes from some type of village,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So compare your village where you grew up to Nairobi.
Okay. Personally, I was born and raised in Nairobi, so I really don't know much about the village because I rarely travel there. But I can give you some few insights about the place. So my name is Oscar Kibet. I'm originally born and raised in Nairobi. I also schooled here. But now when we talk about my rural home, I'm from the Rift Valley. That's where I originally come from. And I'm a Kalenjin by tribe. And us as Kalenjins, we are referred to as Highland Nilots. So most of our activities is based on cattle.
Oh.
Cows, goats, those kind of things. These are referred to as the Highland Nilots because we have three types of Nilots. We have the River Lake, we have the Highland. Those are, I think there are three actually. there's river. Okay, river. Those are the Luos. Yeah.
Yes.
We also have Highland, which is us. The other one I'm forgetting anyway, but that's a story for another.
Is Kisi?
No. Kisis are Bantus. Those ones belong to the Bantus.
Okay, I don't know about that.
Yes.
So here, I know in America we have a whole lot of different cultures, and here you guys all have extreme different cultures. Like
Yeah.
you said, you're from the Kalenjin tribe.
Yeah. We have 42 tribes actually. Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so your tribe, their traditions and their requirements and things like that are different from a Lua tribe, correct?
Yeah. Okay. All these tribes have got different kinds of traditions. Only that I don't choose to follow.
Why
But
don't you want to follow your tribe?
no, okay. You know, everybody has his own. Everybody has his own perspective of how they live or how they want to. Not that I'm saying I don't like, but I'm just like that.
So you'd rather be a city boy than a village boy?
I'd rather be anytime, any day. City is better for me. I'm not saying village is bad, but one thing I've grown with a lot of exposure. That's why.
I see.
And then another thing why I prefer a lot of the city is I try and run away very fast from ethnicity.
Oh,
Ethnicity is something I really don't like because it's somehow sometimes it clouds good judgment.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
I know you have said to me you're going to take me to your village where your parents live, where your mom and your brother Godfrey lives. So what's that going to be like for me?
Of course, you like the place. The people, it's a hospitable place, but be ready to be rained on. it's very always it rains like almost throughout the year there.
Wow.
Because what happens is it's kind of an equatorial forest.
Oh.
There are a lot of trees there, not like here in the city. You know, here in the city, we have destroyed a lot of trees because of urbanization.
Yeah.
So even the air there is very different.
Wow.
It's much healthier
Well, that
because
sounds
there is
nice.
no there is no we don't have pollutants in that area.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Mm.
I can't wait to go there.
Oh yeah.
You promised to take me, right?
Of course you'll go.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
So what else would you like to know from me? Do you have another question?
Yeah, so another question, yeah, I'm trying to see how I can recollect. We've already talked about lifestyle. How, like also I wanted to say, also very soon we shall be visiting some wildlife places. We've gone to
Yeah.
a few, but we'll visit more there and
Yeah,
yeah.
we plan on going on a game drive out in Nairobi National Park.
Yeah.
It's amazing how here in Nairobi, a big city, in the middle of the city is a national park with wild animals. You know, we're talking about the Big Five. That's what they call it here, the
Yeah,
Big
exactly.
Five. What that means is like elephants, giraffes, help me
Lions.
out, lions.
The Cape Buffalo.
Yep, and rhinos, rhinoceros.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I just got a bag with a Big Five on the front. I should have brought it out so I can show you. But anyway, yeah, and so you can be leaving the airport, driving along on the highway,
Yeah.
and look over, and you'll see a giraffe or something, you know, in the national forest. It's amazing.
Yeah, actually, Nairobi is the only place in the world that has a national park in the city,
Wow.
which is Nairobi National Park. That's the only wonder that you have here, where you can find the big five game animals, and of course they are very, very dangerous. So someone has to be very, very careful. Like when you are traveling, okay, let's say we're in the game drives, you should not get out of the vehicle. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because those animals are very, very, they're quite dangerous.